Animal Crossing is full of unanswered questions, which means it's full of conspiracy theories. There's so much we don't know about this world because Tom Nook keeps everything a secret. As someone who's been playing New Horizons for 4 years, I need to entertain myself. So what do? Create conspiracy theories. But Cora, there aren't secrets. The devs just haven't created any lore for the game. Blah, blah, blah. Sounds like someone who drank the Kool-Aid. The internet is in its Kate Middleton era, and now it's time to be in our Tom Nook era. Where did Timmy and Tommy even come from? We have a few different reasons for how these two are connected with Nook, primarily because of the inconsistencies as the story of Animal Crossing has progressed over the years. According to Timmy's e-reader card, the twins are a part of Nook's family. Makes sense, they look alike. But in Wild World, Nook changes the story up. He states that he isn't related to them and they're just his employees. The Nooklings refer to Nook as Nook, his last name. Kinda weird to refer to your uncle as his last name. Tom Nook also states that he sees himself as a mentor to the twins, and there's a lot of dialogue about him not being able to tell the two apart. But I'm not convinced that Nook isn't related. Every single animal in this game looks vastly different. Obviously, Bob and Tangy aren't related. One's purple and one's orange. They're definitely different breeds of cats. Timmy, Tommy, and Nook? I mean, come on. They're tiny versions of the adult Tanuki. No chance they aren't related. I don't care what Nook is trying to convince us of. These things, they're related to him. No question. Maybe once they decided they wanted to work for him, Nook created more of like this mentor-mentee relationship overshadowing familial connections. But there's some similar blood in there. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's just one of his many lies. Speaking of Nook, where in the world did he get all of his money? Before we hop into the deep pool that is Tom Nook, let's hop into dinner with today's sponsor, Factor. Factor cuts out stressful meal planning and prep. I can make dinner in minutes instead of hiring twin raccoons to make my meals for me. Factor comes in and saves the day. I can have a meal ready so quick, it's the most convenient part of my day. I'm just villager hunting and cooking a meal at the same time. What more could you ask for? I love eating healthy with Factor. I never have to worry about trying to craft healthy meals for Drew and myself. Factor does all the hard work for me. And they even have different meal preference options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and vegetarian choices, with more than 27 options each week. There's always something I love, and if I'm on the road with Drew, I can just skip a week and start my meals back up when I come back home. I have saved so much money on greasy takeout that I end up regretting just because I don't feel like cooking that day. I can avoid fast food with delicious food that is ready quickly. Get 50% off your first Factor box and free wellness shots for life using my link. That means you can choose 2 free wellness shots from 3 available flavors for every order while you're an active subscriber. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code with your phone. Now back to Moneybank's Nook. We met Nook for the first time in a tiny town, but he owns 4 empty, full houses in a town of like 6 animals. No chance the small community is completely funding his riches through his tiny store. The thing's made of like planks of wood and he has like 1 furniture item available. How can you afford 4 whole houses in a villager where there's barely any money coming in? Is he collecting taxes from the neighbors? That can't be much. And he keeps doing this in new places. At least in New Horizons, we have to collect the resources for the villager houses, but where did the island come from? You can't just show up to a random land in the middle of the ocean and claim it as your own. You gotta buy that from someone. In real life, it's billionaires and Mr. Beast out here buying islands. Nook, the guy who owns a store in a small village? No chance. This raccoon did something to get all the money. Maybe he grew up rich and just enjoys the small town vibes. My theory is that he's a scientific genius and learned how to clone himself, which is how we all have our very own Tom Nook in our towns. He got paid millions for his discovery and now he's just living his best life. In Animal Crossing, you get a lot of mail. Usually just cute little letters from your neighbors telling you that they're thinking about you. But you also get mail from your mom. These can give you a lot of insight into the secret lore of Animal Crossing. One letter that particularly caught my attention appears in the GameCube Animal Crossing, where your mom states that she's confused as to why you moved to live with animals. This threw me. I assumed it was normal since the villagers are so anthropomorphic. They're just as intelligent as humans, why wouldn't they have the same lifestyle? Apparently not. Apparently, it's really weird to move away from home and live with animals. I just assumed everyone lived with them and we weren't a weird human. The name of the game is Animal Crossing after all. Not once do any of the villagers or the human player dialogue options suggest the situation we find ourselves in is unheard of or different or weird. The more you read into Mom's letters, the more weird they get, but nothing as earth-shattering as living with animals not being normal. This might explain the real animal items that we can buy in the game, like the cat tower and the hamster cage. The reason these things and the cat and hamster villagers exist in the same world is because humans are probably used to pets, just like we are. Raymond isn't out here using the cat tower. It's not weird to have a hamster villager and a real-life hamster in the same room. They're different. But my theory is that the anthropomorphic animals are taking over the world and upsetting society as we know it to form their own ideal place to live. Retti is another confusing character. Why does he care so much if you don't save your game? If you talk to him, he mentions how if you don't save, then it's like nothing ever happened. But why does that matter to him? It's our life, he has no stakes in it. With Cora, it's just the devs wanting you to remember to save your game, blah 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 blah. No, Retti is a real person and he has real stakes in your real life. Okay, my theory is that whenever we reset his day too. Everything he did that day, every chore, every errand he ran, we reset it and he has to do it all over again. We are an incredible inconvenience to him. Why else would he take precious time out of his day to come and yell at us? Finally, the alien. This guy. I did a whole video about him, so if you haven't checked that out, do it. But he's been appearing on our TVs for years. What is he saying? Most likely he's just trying to make contact with us. It's probably just supposed to be some creepy thing that plays at night, adds to the ambiance. But in reality, I think he's looking for Gulliver. For those who don't know, in City Folk, Gulliver wasn't a sailor, he was a UFO operator. He would fly around, you shot him down with a slingshot, and then you'd help him repair his ship. Same old Gulliver, but where did he get the UFO? My theory is that he got abducted or found his way to an alien base, stole a ship and suit to get back home. And now the aliens have sent a message asking for the ship's return. They do show the UFO in the TV spot. Maybe the aliens don't want to blow us up after all. But until we get an actual translation of the alien, we can only guess what they want from us. Do you have any Animal Crossing theories? Any Easter eggs? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!